It's controlled chaos. Stomping the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Yeah. Facebook Live Thursday. Yes, I'm on Facebook Live. But I'm not going to gun down anybody, I promise. I'm just here in the studio by myself. It is Controlled Chaos, KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. That was a terrible, terrible joke, but it wasn't really a joke. It's sort of disgusting that you can go on Facebook Live and actually do weird things and create havoc like they did in New Zealand. That idiot. That guy should just be like I said, beheaded. You know, I'm into Game of Thrones, and I can't wait for it to start in April. I think it's April 14th. They should just behead his ass right there in New Zealand, right where he committed all those mass murders at the mosque. He was on Facebook Live, if you don't know what I'm talking about, while he was committing the murders, which is just so insane. But just behead the dude right there, guillotine him. You know, that's what I think. All right, I'm Gary Garver. Oh, by the way, New Zealand has banned all assault weapons. Did you know that? The Prime Minister. Now, are these people in New Zealand more civil than we are? They actually took action like right away and banned all assault and semi-automatic weapons. But we can't do that here in the United States. How strange. How many times have multiple people killed multiple people with assault weapons? But we still have them out there for yahoos and crazy people to get and to go out there and shoot up bars or schools or mosques or temples or whatever they want to shoot up, you know. But that's okay. We still have them out there. But New Zealand, one time it happens to them, and they ban all assault weapons. God bless New Zealand. You guys are way more civil than the United States, and I hate to say that, but it is the truth. All right, listen. It is March Madness. I cannot wait for this weekend because I will be gambling. I'll be trying to do a little drinking because I haven't been drinking a whole lot since I've been sick. I've been sick for the last couple of weeks. I'm actually feeling a lot better today. I went out and played golf yesterday morning right after the show. It didn't rain. A little bit. It rained a little bit, but hey, I shot an 82, so I'm very happy about that. I actually played pretty well. But anyways, just be careful out there if you're out there driving, and slow down. And there's so many accidents. I've seen so many accidents in the last 3 or 4 days. It's been crazy. But yes, March Madness starts this morning, the college basketball tournament. So I'll be going home, watching the games, and probably, drinking a little bit, smoking very little, but having a good time. So enjoy it. I also want to say a happy birthday to one of my biggest fans out there, Jared, from Jones Brothers Brake Auto Parts. Happy birthday, Jared. Have a great time. And watch those potholes in Compton. Oh, my God. There was a news story last night, and the streets of Compton are full of potholes. And the crazy thing is, they actually, the citizens of Compton actually voted to raise taxes over there to fix streets and things like that. You know, they've raised like literally $10 million. I mean, the citizens put a tax on their own selves to fix the roads, and it's like $10 million they've already raised, and these streets are full of potholes in Compton. It's just insanity, man. I mean, I can't believe driving there. I feel bad for you guys out there, so just be careful out there if you're driving, because, I mean, you could lose your suspension. I mean, and you know what? The cars, people that drive these cars, and get something damaged to their car by driving through the pothole should sue the city of Compton. You know, exactly. I mean, they should. So, also, I'm all over the place today. I'm on fire. I'm in fuego today. It's a Facebook Live Thursday. There's a lot of people watching on Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in on Facebook Live Thursday. I'm going to play my Howard Stern call in a minute, but I also want to tell you about the Powerball. It's up to $625 million. It's going to be happening Saturday night. So, of course, I'm going to buy my $20 worth of tickets, okay? So if you want to try to get rich quick. And if you ever, I'm sure if you won the Powerball, would you be heard from again? I know I wouldn't be. Also, I was touching on a story yesterday, and I talked about ragging on those two idiots, Lori Loughlin and her daughter, Olivia Jade, the college admission scandal. And the story goes is that Lori Loughlin's daughters, Olivia and Bella, are suffering amid fallout from college admissions scandal. They're suffering. Don't you feel so sorry for them? Oh, my heart's breaking for these two idiots, or three idiots, or whatever. The scandal where Lori Loughlin, who was on Full House, which I never watched, and her husband, who was some sort of, I don't know, he was I don't know what he is. Who cares? Anyways, they paid this guy $500,000 to get their kids into USC, and they got busted. They're each out. I didn't know this. They're both out. The Lori Loughlin and her husband, Mosimo or whatever the hell his name is, are currently each out on $1 million bail. And their kids are suffering. They're very depressed. They don't want to go back to school. I love it. Good. God bless it. See, there is justice in America. And one last thing before I start with the Howard Stern call. This call is the last call that me and Howard ever had on the air, and basically explains why I got fired from the Howard Stern show, or I left. I mean, I sort of sabotaged myself, but we'll get into that once I do the call. But I want to tell you, if you're drinking tea right now, because it's cold outside here in LA, all over the country. If you're drinking hot tea, you have like a high chance of getting esophageal cancer. I'm not joking about this. It says drinking hot tea almost doubles risk of esophageal cancer, new study says. Researchers found, I'm trying to do a public service announcement for my listeners out there, because I drink coffee, and I've been drinking, when I've been sick the last few days. I've been drinking tea, a lot of tea, because I like green tea, but I pour some creamer in it to cool it down. But if you're drinking hot tea warmer than 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you consume about 2 large cups per day, you have a 90% higher risk of esophageal cancer when compared to those who drank less tea at cooler temperatures. Okay, so be careful. Okay, when you're drinking hot tea, if you're drinking piping hot tea, don't drink it. Let it cool down. Now, I know it sort of defeats the purpose. Like, you want something hot, but let it cool down, or put like water in it, cold water in it, or a lemon, or like I do. I put creamer in mine. It's sort of I do an English tea. I put creamer in it to cool it down. So just be careful. If you're drinking really hot tea and you drink a couple cups a day or more, you have a really high risk, a 50% higher risk a 90% higher risk of esophageal cancer compared to those who drink less tea at cooler temperatures. Sort of defeats the purpose, right? You want something hot in the morning because it's cold and you're trying to wake up or whatever, but, it is what it is. My uncle actually passed away from esophageal cancer. It didn't have anything to do with tea, though, and I'm not going to get into that. All right, well, listen, let's get into this, okay? Because Howard Stern's coming out with a book. I think it's coming out in May. It said Howard Stern, here he comes again, or I don't even know. Who cares what the friggin' title is? I'm not here to promote Howard Stern's book. Though I did post on Facebook. I wonder if Howard's going to talk about any of us that got fired from the show, like Stuttering John or Artie Lang or me, Bob Levy, and the names go on and on, Billy West. The names go on and on and on about people who left the show. And sort of like Howard never mentions anybody. We just sort of like disappear into the abyss like we never existed. So I posted something like, I wonder if Howard's going to talk about us in his new book, and I said probably not. And then I got a bunch of comments asking me, why'd you get fired from the Howard Stern show? What happened with you and Howard? Why aren't you on the Howard Stern show? So this call was made back in 2009. Okay, I'd already left the show for about a year and a half. I wasn't working with the show for a year and a half, and I sort of kept it quiet because there was a small chance I might go back to the Howard Stern show and do celebrity interviews, though that never happened. But anyways, I went on. I used to have an internet TV show called Almost Live with Gary Garver, and I was on there, and some girl asked me about being on the Howard Stern show, and I kept it quiet for a long, long time, for about a year and a half. But eventually, I just went off on Howard and did like a 30-minute diatribe on Stern and the show and how they screwed me over. And I guess Howard heard the call. Who knew he would? Who was listening to this? My crapola back 10 years ago. But he heard the call, and then he called me on the air. This was at 5:30 in the morning. He gave me a call. It was a Monday morning. The night before, I was watching football I used to live right next to Casa Vega, literally 100 yards from Casa Vega, a very famous Mexican restaurant in Sherman Oaks, and I got completely plowed at Casa Vega that night because I used to know all the bartenders. I used to hang out there, almost every night, and I'd get free drinks, and I'd get completely smashed and eat and drink for like $20, and then I'd tip my buddy another 20. So Nacho, my buddy Nacho. So, anyways, this is the last. I was basically still drunk when Stern called me at 5:30 in the morning. So here's my last call with the Howard Stern Show, and this explains why, or what happened between Howard and I, and why I got basically let go from the show, or I sort of self-sabotaged myself, and I'll tell you why, and this is the reason.
I have Gary Garver on the phone, who has done so many great interviews for us out in Los Angeles.
I haven't heard his name, though.
Well, I did. Hey, Gary. Howard.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, man. So I heard Gary went on an internet program with about 7.
I actually have a show.
Yeah, he has a show, but some Chinese girl was interviewing Gary. I don't know what the show is. It's on the internet. But he spent about 20 minutes talking about me. And, I really like Gary a lot, but the guy is completely lost.
What did he say?
So I figured I would tell him to his face rather than...
This guy, I swear to God, I'm so happy I'm not working for Stern because he was so demeaning towards me. I mean, so many times. I mean, yeah, he did sing my praises at times, but... More so, if you want to weigh it, he sort of took a page out of Donald Trump's playbook, or maybe Donald Trump took a page out of Stern's playbook, and just total insults, man, just total insults all the time. Once in a while, some praise, but mostly insults. And here we go again. I'm just going to make comments during this whole thing because it's 40 minutes long. I don't even think I can play the whole thing today, but I'll play most of it, and then if I get stuck and don't play it all, I'll play the rest of it tomorrow. Big deal.
And first of all, 90% of it is Gary is upset because we fired him. First of all, he wasn't a full-time employee of our show. Gary went out. We would send him out.
Yeah, you paid me like the one time. I was a full-time employee over at KLSX 97.1 for 20 years, or 18 of the 20 years. I was a full-time employee over at KLSX. And then when Howard left for Sirius in 2006, I started working for Sirius in 2006, 2007. Basically, the one full year I worked at Sirius, they paid me $8,000. Now, remember, Howard had signed a 5-year, $500 million contract. He was making $100 million a year. $100 million a year. And you know what I made that first year? I made $8,000. Okay, $8,000. This is all I'm talking about. The Stern Show. He's such a. When I hear this call, it gets me really going. But let's listen to this. I don't want to cut it off too much.
Freelancer.
He was a freelancer. Gary very brilliantly went out and interviewed lots of people for us, and is a very good guy, and I like him. But Gary's got hurt feelings, and I'll play you what he said about me. And I really, I resent what he said. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, hold on, Howard. Hold on.
I'm going to tell you how I feel.
He's telling you how he feels.
Hold on. Well,
you said horrible things about me.
I didn't say anything horrible about
Well, I'm going to play it. I got it on tape.
I said you're the greatest broadcaster of all time, that you're the Michael Jordan of radio.
Gary's beef with me is, well, I'm going to tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, hold on, man. First of all, I'm still drunk from last night, so, I mean, come on.
When did he make these statements? Was he drunk at the time?
I don't think he was drunk at the
time. I wasn't drunk that night. No, I wasn't.
I like Gary, but I really feel Gary has not gotten much of guidance in his life from the people around him and his family.
I kiss my ass, Stern. I didn't get any guidance from my family. Really? You're dissing on my mom and my father? Really? You ass? My dad was one of the best people I've ever met. He treated everybody with respect, whether you had a ton of money or you had no money. In fact, we had a guy living with us, Jimmy the Bum Garcia. We also called him Killer, for like 15 years underneath our pool table. That's how my dad rolled. He showed me respect for everybody. Okay, my mom's a loving person, a sweetheart. Everybody loves my mom. She doesn't have a harsh word to say about anybody. Well, maybe me at times. But other than that, she's a beautiful person, a beautiful soul. So, you know what? If I saw, man, I'd like to just, Stern, you know what? You're a real piece of work, dude. You know, I didn't get guidance from my family, huh? Really? What about you and your family? Huh? You're sitting in your basement masturbating while your daughters and your wife was upstairs, and you talked about it on the air. I mean, talking about guidance, okay? And then you made a movie. Oh, you wrote your book, right? And you made the movie, Private Parts, and it was a love story between you and your wife. And then 2 years later, you divorce her because she can't stand you anymore. Okay? Serious, dude, you're a joke.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. No. You know what, Howard? You know, if you're gonna do this to me,
I'm not going to do. I'm going to tell you what you said and how I feel about it. How's that?
What is he doing to you?
And you gonna let me
Yes.
tell you how I feel too?
Yes.
Yeah, don't rip on my parents, you a-hole. Don't be ripping on my parents. Okay, my parents are great. They were great. Okay, I was very blessed to have two strong parents, two strong-willed parents that taught me great lessons in life. Okay, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So don't give me that. That really, you know. Okay, let's go. I'm not gonna make it through this whole 40-minute interview. We'll have to play some of it tomorrow. But here we go.
Okay, so we're gonna, because I love you and I worked with you for 18 years.
Yes.
Hold on. I busted my ass for you, and what I said there, most of it was true, but I didn't put you down. I mean,
All right. So Gary was upset with me because Gary worked with us. You know, Gary was a guy who worked at KLSX in Los Angeles.
Yeah, tell the truth, man.
But, am I lying?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm gonna.
So Gary got on and said that he was angry with me because I never got on the air and told the audience that I fired him. Now, the reason, Gary, I never got on the air and told the audience that I fired you, generally in our business, being fired isn't a good thing.
Oh, you know what, Stern? You know, you got a track record where you just get rid of people and they disappear from the face of the earth, okay? So, you know what? I wasn't going to be worried about, you should have just said I was fired, man, so I didn't have to answer question after question over it for like a year and a half, dude. You know, you should have just had the balls to say it. Big deal. I got fired. I'm a peon compared to you. You paid me $8,000 the 1 year I worked for Sirius Radio, okay, after laying my butt on the line over and over again, going out and doing those celebrity interviews and giving you great material, fantastic material, and getting thrown out of events, being hassled by paparazzi, being hassled by publicists. Really, dude? Come on, man. Come on, let's be real.
It doesn't matter, though.
Wait, let me finish. You've been waiting for an explanation. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, and then let me.
Out of respect to you, because I like you, and you've been very, very nice to me, and I happen to really enjoy you and enjoy your work.
I love you too.
I felt that the nice thing to do was not go on the air and say Gary Garver, in my opinion, is out of control and can't be controlled and shouldn't be hired by other radio stations. That's a signal to them. People listen to me. And
well,
I love this guy. Yeah, I'm out of control. I'm completely out of control. Let's see, I've been working at KCAA now for, close to 5 years? I'm out of control, man. I'm totally, ask Fred Lundgren, I'm out of control. Well, maybe he does think I'm out of control at times. Too bad.
Can I say something?
I wanted to give you an opportunity, gracefully, to go on with your life. Why would I want to go point out to the audience that you had to be let go?
I am. First of all, Howard, you're going to let me talk?
Sure, go ahead. I have to explain to the audience what's going on.
Well, I have gone on with my life because I haven't worked for you for a year and a half.
Right.
Okay, so second off, you know what? To say that I shouldn't be hired by any other radio station is complete bull. Okay?
No, I didn't, Gary.
You're not understanding.
Gary, let me explain to you. I didn't say I think you should be hired by another radio station.
It'd be nice because nobody will hire me.
Yeah, but then you go on the air and you say, because of Howard Stern, no one will hire me. Gary, that's absurd. The guy who had the job before you, Stuttering John, was hired by Jay Leno, one of the most successful comedians in the country.
Yeah, but you know what? The difference between me and John was in New York. Everybody, you know what, Howard? Let me just say something. Everybody thinks that I lived in New York, that I was a big part of your show in New York. I never lived in New York.
Who does that have to do?
Who thinks that? Everybody that I ran into, 75 to 80% of the people that I've run into over the course of my radio career and working for the Howard Stern Show thought I was in New York and working in New York. In fact, still to this day, when I'm like out on the golf course and somebody recognizes me or wherever it is, they think I was based in New York. And I tell them I was in Los Angeles the whole time, okay? And the other thing about Stuttering John is Stuttering John was still working for Stern when he got the Tonight Show gig, okay? I was basically let go. And I'm sure listen, I don't care about working in LA radio. I mean, every radio station in Los Angeles is a piece of crap as far as I'm concerned. KFI, any talk. So I mean, I wouldn't want to work at KABC or KFI or any of these stations because they're terrible. Okay, I'm sorry. It's bad radio, and I wouldn't have the freedom to do what I do here. I have a lot of freedom. That's why I like working at KCAA. It's an independent radio station. I have my freedom to do basically what I want to do for the most part. I mean, every now and then I'll have to tone it down a little bit, but that's why. And if I believe me, I wouldn't work anywhere else. My radio career is basically done. I don't care about it. I keep on saying it. People don't believe me, but if I didn't show up next week, I wouldn't care. I'd be happy. I'd go work out and go play golf, take care of my brother. I mean, that's write my book. I'm writing another book, about me and my brother and what we're going through. I just started it a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, I got things going on. I could do a ton of other things, So, I'm not, who cares? But back then, I mean, this was 2009, and, I was doing fine. I had my own internet TV network. Please, it's such a joke. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a break real quick. Let me take a break because I got to pay for some advertising here. And because they pay us at KCAA. And then we'll get into the rest of the call with Stern. I mean, the reason I'm playing this, and I played it on the best of shows before, but I've really I never made any really comments on it. I just played the call. But today I'm playing and I'm making comments on the last call I did with the Howard Stern Show back in 2009. It is Controlled Chaos. I'm Gary Garver. I'm out of control. Watch out.
It's Controlled Chaos. Stomping the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Hey, this is Gary Garver. I've been having trouble getting a good night's sleep lately. Maybe you have too. Well, if you have been, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab provides a personal study to help you find out how to get a great night of sleep. I've been having sleeping issues during the night lately for a number of reasons. South Pacific Sleep Lab evaluated me with an overnight study of my sleep pattern. With their professional staff, they were able to provide me with a diagnosis of my sleep pattern, and ever since, I haven't had much of a problem getting a great night of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab has locations throughout Southern California, including one in Fontana, and they will provide transportation to any of their locations at no cost to you. South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just give them a call at 844-SAD-5050 to schedule your appointment today. That's 844-SAD-5050.
Robert Manny's The Guy's Guide to Love is a fast-paced tale of flawed men and savvy women competing for love, sex, power, and money in the city where they play for keeps. It's the men's successor to Sex and the City. The Guy's Guide to Love is a sexy romp through the fast-moving, high-stakes world of Madison Avenue. Available now on Amazon and wherever books are sold.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. If you are passionate about securing your financial future, then check out philsgang.com. With philsgang.com, you get professional guidance on basic and advanced technical stock analysis. And just like the pros, you will gain the knowledge to recognize stock buy and sell patterns. Unlike any other service available, Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team host daily interactive live streaming investing webinar classes and programs, and all material is archived. Check out philsgang.com. Call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Hi, this is Kimberly Meredith. As a spiritual healer, I'm often asked, Kimberly, can I be healed? The answer is, with God, anything is possible. And yes, you can be healed through the power of God. Your friends and family can be healed. Even animals can be healed. Please visit thehealingtrilogy.com to learn more about my process and my services. My office is located in Sherman Oaks. I offer intuitive medical scans and psychic surgery for you and your loved ones. At the Healing Trilogy, we treat adults, children, and animals. We offer medical scans, mediumship counseling, cold laser acupuncture, cold laser therapy, holistic health, nutritional plans, and many other services. We also have meditation CDs, and I Skype around the world on Fridays. Sign up for my newsletter, and you'll receive a free CD. You'll also be informed about my upcoming healing events. Log on to thehealingtrilogy.com. Bless you.
This is Judge Herb Dodell, and our show is called For the People. It's available every Monday at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5. And we'll be talking about all kinds of things pertaining to the law and how it really works from the inside as opposed to the outside. So tune in and learn all you need to know about the legal system and how it works.
I'm Jim O'Hare. I'm here to help raise awareness for CADASIL, a genetic disorder that affects 1 in 25,000 people. CADASIL can cause strokes in young adults, leading to memory loss and dementia. Patients may experience migraines with aura and mood disorders as early as 20 years old. Presently, CADASIL is being underdiagnosed and often misdiagnosed as MS or some other neurological disorder. So please visit curecadasil.org and learn more about this devastating disease and learn what you can do to help find a cure.
Yeah, I know, but you can't get in on her questions. But if you wait nicely...
She cut in front of me.
But she has a camera. You have a radio. You know how it goes.
Okay.
All right, but I'll come over there. Are you one of the scary morning people who are going to ask horrible things? You got that look. Are you?
Do I have that look?
You do. You got the look like, watch me do something I would have in second grade. Here you go. Go ahead. Say it.
I just want to know, are you friends with Howard Stern? Is that a horrible question to ask?
Camera. They only have a radio, so it doesn't matter. You could keep asking. Yeah. Go.
Brooke is here tonight.
This guy's even embarrassed to be with you now. Look at his face.
He's not with me.
He's not? Maybe that's why. You can go away, because I'm not going to talk to you, so go.
Why not? I thought you and Howard...
Your face.
No. You like my face?
I don't enjoy you.
You enjoy my
Why?
I do.
Like my face.
With him for me? Thank you.
That's enough. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Get him out. He has no camera. Remove him. Hi.
Why do you
enjoy you?
Why don't you like me?
He's being rude.
What'd I do? I did not.
He really wasn't being rude at all.
Rosie.
How are you? Rosie said I had a horrible face.
And enjoy your face.
What does that mean? Does that mean I'm not good looking or what?
No, it just means you had the intent to harm in your eyes.
I know. Harm and lie?
In your eyes.
Rosie, get out of here. We need to get going. I'll leave.
Boy, she really hates him.
This is a riot.
I'll go. I'll go. Here's me, in case you need me.
Tell Howie we said hi.
Sorry about that.
And I love Gary. I love the other Gary. Well, I don't know you.
I'm a good guy. I'm a good person.
Gary Garver, Jew of the...
Thank you. Thank you.
What can we say that's not going to piss him off?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Thank you. That was Rosie O'Donnell saying that I had the intent to harm in my eyes. Let's put it this way, Rosie. If I had to look in the mirror every morning, would I rather look like you or me? Do I want to look like a human pig or a Jew? I'll take the Jew. All right, it is Controlled Chaos. KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. I'm Gary Garver. I'm in the middle of playing my last call with the Howard Stern Show, and I should just get right to it because there's like 40 minutes, only got like 25 minutes left in the show, and I'll probably play the second part of it on tomorrow's show. So if you want to tune in, go to KCAAradio.com. But here we go. Let's continue on with the Howard Stern.
Hold on, because John was on the show every day. He had exposure every day. People wanted his numbers every day. I was periodically on your show.
That's right, Gary. You were barely on my show. You weren't a full-time employee of the show. You were a guy.
So why point out that you were fired?
So you weren't. It wasn't something I was going to go on the air and say to everyone, Gary Garver. Listen, you had a good. Yeah. Why would I go on the air and say that? And
why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go on the air and say, hey, you know what? Gary was out of control. He got into a hassle with some security and a public relations firm that basically said that they would not have any more celebrities or guests on any Sirius radio station. They basically called this public relations firm, I don't even know what the name of it is or was, basically called Sirius Radio, and Scott Greenstein, who was running Sirius Radio at the time, I don't know if he's still there or not, and basically said that if you have this guy on the red carpet anymore at any of our events or anything, we are going to stop having our clients on all Sirius shows, and that's why they let me go. I mean, why didn't he just say that? And that, we just didn't want to use Gary. Why couldn't Stern just say, hey, we just didn't want to use Gary anymore. We felt he was a little out of control, and he got into some hassles and this and that on the red carpet. And that was it. He did great work, and I thank him. I wish him the best. Then everything would have been cool. But to just leave me hanging like I was just like, it was like being in a coma for a year and a half. Okay? Like, and people would come up, like I said, people would come up to me and say, hey, Gary, why aren't you on the show? I haven't heard any of your new interviews and this and that. And I just kept it quiet because I didn't know if I was coming back. I mean, they never made it official that I was fired. And they never even called me and said, hey, Gary, you're fired. You're never working for Stern again. Okay? They always left the door open slightly. So it was just very frustrating. And finally, after a year and a half, I went off on him. And then now Stern's all butthurt about it. So let's continue on.
And try to hurt you.
Because you
trying to help you.
It didn't help me because I couldn't get a job anyways.
But Gary, I don't think it's because you worked here. This is the most successful radio program in the world. That's a good thing.
You're taking one statement I said.
I'm taking every statement.
Okay, well, then take all the statements that I said.
Should I play it? Should I play what you said about me?
Do it.
All right, let's play it. Let's go through what you said since you want airtime. Here's. I
don't want airtime. I'll hang up. You woke me up. I'm sleeping. I'm totally at disadvantage with the greatest broadcaster of all time.
No, listen.
Yes,
let's play.
I said you're the greatest broadcaster of all time.
Gary, let's play what you said.
And by the way, I think Howard Stern still is the greatest broadcaster of all time. I mean, a guy who can make $100 million a year in radio, he's the greatest broadcaster of all time. I'm sorry. He is the Michael Jordan of talk radio. I still can say that. I mean, I have no qualm saying that. He is. He's unbelievable. And, he's had a great, great career. And he put me on the map, and I'm very thankful for all that. But, you pay a price with fame sometimes, and sometimes, I felt I sold out. This is not my personality to go out there and attack people and ask stupid questions and be that type of person. Okay, but I sold out to become famous or pseudo-famous or a pseudo-celebrity or whatever you want to call me. I'm probably like down on there's A-listers, B-listers. I'm probably about a Q. All right, here we go.
Let's play what you said while you're awake. You were fully awake. Here's what you said about me.
You guys don't want to hear it, then tune them out. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You guys, and you can go run out. What's Howard going to do? How's he going to hurt my career? Well, he's already ruined my career.
I ruined his career.
Because I
had nothing to do with your career.
First of all,
if you were the guy who called me and kept saying, Howard, can you throw me some work? And I said, of course, I'll come through. What am I, ruining your career?
Howard, come on, man. You know what? I went out there and busted my ass on those interviews, okay?
You did a great job. I don't know what to tell you.
So don't listen. Don't twist my words by taking certain excerpts.
All right. I'm playing the whole thing. Here we go.
He didn't play the whole thing. It was 20 minutes long. He played like 2 minutes of it. Here we go.
Let's keep going.
You're going to play 30 minutes?
No.
For 30 minutes.
Okay, I'll play the whole thing. Here it is.
You're not going to do that.
Associated with that show, and everybody in radio hates his guts. You understand this?
Everyone in radio hates my guts.
Hey, you've even said that people, because of what you've done and what you've accomplished in your career.
Gary, What is everyone hating my guts have to do with the fact if they're all jealous of me, they should only want to hire the people who work with me.
They wouldn't, Howard. When I put up your name on these radio stations, and you know it, okay? People are very jealous of you.
They are jealous of me.
They're jealous of you because of what you've accomplished.
But that doesn't prevent you from getting a job.
Are they getting back at Howard through not hiring you?
I think in a way, yes. In a way, yes. I really believe.
I still believe that. I still believe that to this day. That people were so jealous of the Stern Show back in the 90s, and Howard became #1 like in a year's time, and I was his West Coast producer. We were the #1 morning show for literally 15 years, and I think a lot of people in radio, of course there's egos in radio and resentment and things like that, and I think a lot of people resented people who worked for the Howard Stern Show because we sort of had a arrogance about ourselves, that we were the best, and we were the best, and I think a lot of people in radio land didn't dig that, and if you're associated with the Howard Stern Show, they weren't going to hire you. I'm serious. I really do believe that. How many people have their own radio shows on in L.A. or New York that used to work for the Howard Stern Show? Literally no one, okay? Literally no one has a radio show that worked for Howard, except for maybe me. I don't think John does. I don't think Jackie does. I don't think Artie does. I mean, they had some podcasts and stuff like that, but not really. Not really, man. I mean, it's the truth, and I'm just speaking the truth. People really resented Stern for his arrogance and becoming #1. And like I said, he's probably the best broadcaster of all time as far as talk radio goes.
I do believe that. Yes, I do believe that.
All right.
Okay? Now, I'm
Besides, like, his broadcasting style or what he's done to people.
It's just a very, people are jealous of him for what he's had.
There's always haters.
Because they're very jealous of what he's got.
Yeah.
Which I think is bullshit. We should be jealous of what other people have. He earned it. He deserves what he got. But the bottom line is, I'm just telling you what happened to me. You think, what's Howard's going to do to me? Howard can't do nothing to me. He already basically buried me. He buried me without even a thank you. Okay? Without even a thank you. And people are like, are you going to, and nobody even, some people even go, hey, did you hang out with Howard and all that? I never hung out with him. I wasn't good enough to hang out with the Howard Stern people. I wasn't good enough to hang out with Howard Stern. Okay? So, when everybody is talking about this greatness of Howard and how great he is and how he takes care of his people, he takes care of a few people. Okay? But he didn't take care of me. He didn't even call me. You understand? He had Baba Booey. Hey, I'm just trying to tell you, but we're going to have to fire you. We can't work with you no more. He didn't even have the balls to ask me or even say, hey, Gary, I'm sorry, but I have to let you go. Mm-hmm. You done great work for me. You done this. Nothing. Never reached out to me. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Okay? It's hurtful.
My feeling is this. We reached out to Gary many times and said to him, Gary, you got to rein some stuff in. It's getting a little crazy out there. We need you to do this, and this. We tried working with Gary, and the reason I never brought it up on the air is because I thought out of respect to Gary, it was his private business. If Gary wants to bring it up, that's fine.
Right, Gary,
but I wasn't going to, Gary, I'm not going to get on the air and give away your private business. I had too much respect for you. I like you. And the fact of the matter is, I would never do that to you. What you're interpreting as a snub, you should interpret as a guy who cares.
Can I say something now? Okay, because you know what? When I went out there and did those interviews for you, Howard, okay, I laid my ass on the line. Now, you know those questions were brutal. Okay?
Right.
Hold on. And you guys wrote them, and I went out there and asked them. And I'm quite the pariah out there, okay? Nobody wanted, even the people that loved my work, the paparazzi didn't even like me, okay? So when I went out there, I was already a villain, man.
I know that. I thought you did a really good job, Gary, but I'm getting back to your main gripe with me. Your main gripe with me was that I've snubbed you by not telling the audience that I fired you.
Not my main gripe. I just wish you guys what I would have wished is this, okay? When that interview went down a year and a half ago, okay, yeah, I made a huge mistake, okay? And by the way, that was all an act. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, basically, I self-sabotaged myself. I mean, I was just like, I was not getting any interviews at this event, And I said to my camera guy, I said, let's go create some havoc. I did. And lo and behold, that's when the PR firm called up the Sirius and Scott Greenstein and basically said, you know, what I told you, you know, they not going to have any more clients on there. But I was ready to leave that show anyways. I mean, I wasn't making any money, and they screwed me out of this. I was trying to become a reality TV producer. Okay, I was trying to switch gears when I left KLSX in 2006, and I started working on a TV show called A Day in the Life, where I would follow a porn star around and find out how she really lived inside a porn star's life. Because, you know, I interviewed hundreds of porn stars, and so I did 2 of them, and I pitched it to Howard TV, and they bought the idea. They liked the idea. And we'll talk. Let's just play the call, and it gets totally into it, and then we'll get into the day in the life. But that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get out of radio because I was sort of sick of being in radio and become a TV producer. And I thought I was so close to doing it. I was just so close to getting on Howard TV and doing this day in the life show. And then they pulled the rug from underneath me, left a bitter taste in my mouth, and that's why I sort of self-sabotaged myself. Said, screw the Howard Stern show. I'm not going to go do these interviews anymore.
Because I was trying to get some material for.
I know that you were trying hard. And sometimes when you're in the middle of something, but it was happening too many times.
Well, you know what? What happened is with that. You know what? You're going back to that.
You know what? It happened maybe 3 or 4. I went out probably to about at least, and I'm not joking, within the 10-year time span I worked and did celebrity interviews for the Stern Show. I would say I probably went to at least a minimum of 200 events, maybe 250 events, maybe even more. Okay, and literally. Probably a half a dozen times there was some sort of friction. I mean, where I sort of got in somebody's face, okay? Because I didn't like if a security guard would grab me, or somebody would say something to me, or something like that. It would just get sort of a little touchy-feely, or sort of like confrontational. Because normally I just walk away. They say, you're out of here. Because I got thrown out of half the event, or not half, but about a quarter of the events. I might have gone to, you know, I'm underestimating how many events I went to. I probably went to about 300 or 400 events. I like to know exactly how many, but I literally a quarter of them I'd get thrown out of, and these guys would grab me and stuff like that. And out of all those events, let's say even if it's just 200, I only got hassled maybe a half a dozen times where it got out of control, and I can name them, literally name them. And these questions were brutal, man. You hear these questions I asked the Stern Show. That's why people loved them, you know? So, whatever. Here, let's continue on.
That interview with Dimitri where you guys just, you know, and what really hurts me is that you guys didn't back me with that thing because you never even believed my side where this guy was trying to sabotage my work.
No, I know, but I wanted you to walk away. I didn't want you to get into...
I did walk away 6 or 7 times. When the guy tried to get me thrown out of there. Hold on. He would try to get me thrown out of these red carpet events 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, this one guy, his name's Dimitri. He was friends with my old radio partner, and for some reason he had a stick up his whatever for me. Okay? So every time I'd run into him at these events, before I even got any interviews, I'd get on the red carpet. He would tell the publicist or the public relations person who was throwing the event that I was with the Howard Stern Show and I was going to create havoc, and I'd get thrown out of these events. So finally, push came to shove, and I got into a little bit of a hassle with him on a red carpet. And I can talk about, you know, maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow.
I've been on for 6 or 7 months. Now, okay, I confronted him one time, okay, and that was stupid, all right? And then you guys suspended me for a month. Okay.
Right. Because I tried to say to you, Gary, rein it in. I was begging you. I said, listen, Gary, we want to work with you. You got to go think about your approach. You're going to get. I was afraid Gary was going to get hurt. I was afraid Gary was going to get hurt. I was afraid other people were going to get hurt. I was using my best judgment with you. I suspended you for a month.
Trust me, I wasn't going to get hurt by anybody. I may have hurt somebody, but I wasn't going to get hurt by anybody.
Or I never. Guess what? In 12.
I know that, but other people. But you could have gotten yourself hurt. You were being very confrontational with people to the point.
Nobody ever got hurt. I never got into a fight.
No, I know that.
Nothing ever happened.
I know, but it was like an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, really, Stern. 10 years I did these interviews. Not one time did I get into a fist fight with anybody. Okay, I got into a little hassle with Dimitri that one time because he spit on me. Okay, and he's gay, which, you know, God knows if he had HIV or whatever. Rumors had it that he might have had HIV. That's what I heard through the grapevine. The guy spit on me, and that's why I went after him, which is sort of disgusting to spit on me right there on the red carpet. That pissed me off. Yeah, I went after him. It was stupid. It was a dumb mistake that I made. I should have just left it alone. But, you know, if you get spit on, what are you going to do? You're just going to take it? You know? No way.
No, it was not. That is, I know how to control myself because I know.
And I never got into a fist fight with anybody. I never got arrested. Nothing. In 200 to 400 events. I wish I could count them. A minimum of, let's see. If you count 10 years, and I probably went out to an event every week. How many? I don't even know. That's like 500. I'd say probably about 300 events I went to. Never got into a fist fight. Never got arrested. Nothing. That one instance where the guy spit on me and I went off on him. That's it.
How did you know what? I did it for 12 years, Howard. It wasn't about that. You know what? When some guy's trying to take food out of your mouth, okay, over and over again, how are you going to react eventually? You know.
All I wanted to say to you is this.
Of course, you don't want to hear my side.
I just played your side. I just heard what you had to say. I just wanted
You played 1 minute. You played 1 minute of what I said.
Well, Gary, you want me to play 30 minutes of a rambling tirade?
Why don't you talk about the day in the life and all that?
Yeah, now what is a day in the life that you said that Doug Goodstein stole from you and you're going to punch him out when you see him and you're not out of control? You're going to punch a guy out?
Okay, we'll be back with more of my conversation.
Anyways, listen. Let me. This is. Yeah. By the way, I'd still punch Doug Goodstein out if I saw him. I definitely would. That guy is a snake.
Hi, I'm Phil Granny from Phil's Gang.
Let me do something else. All right, here we go.
Let's talk about me and you.
Here we go. Well, come on, you stupid.
What are you talking about?
Your beef with me primarily seemed to be that I didn't get on the air and say that I dismissed you. So now I will say it. I dismissed you.
Okay.
Do you feel better?
Fine. Well, I don't give a fuck anymore. I mean,
but Gary, the reason I did it, I'm going to tell you again, I'm going to try and explain to you. The reason I didn't go on the air and say I dismissed you, I thought I was being respectful, which is something you deserve. I happen to like you. I think you're a good guy.
Thank you.
If somebody came to me and said, hey, what kind of guy is Gary Garver? Is he the kind of guy I want working at my radio station? I would say yes. Aside from this, I don't know what the Jew bastard and kicking people's ass.
Hey, Howard, can I use you as a reference now?
You certainly could. You always could have. Well, why is that funny to you?
I don't know. Can I ask?
Have you lost your mind?
I'm going to say I think he's a little unbalanced.
Yeah. Really? Try I'm still a little drunk from the night before, Robin. Thank you very much.
Have you lost your mind?
Maybe.
About what?
Why are you laughing at that? What's going on with you?
Because, first of all, Howard, you know how many questions I had to answer in the past year and a half, how I kept my mouth shut, how people were going, why aren't you working for Howard Show? And I go, oh, well, I just, you know.
You should have said you got fired.
Cool, too.
You should have
kept it cool.
But why? What were you lying about?
What?
You should have just said, hey, they let me go.
I did. I just said I wasn't working, you know, but I'm just saying because people were coming up to me and asking me things, and I just got, I didn't, you know,
Gary,
it was, because first of all,
I was doing it to protect you.
Right, I
didn't think it was anybody's business what went down here. I thought it was private.
Let me tell you something. Can I just say one thing? Because I wasn't sure if because I would talk to Tim Sabian every couple months, going, hey, what's going on with Howard? Because I wanted to come back and work for you guys.
Well, I can answer that. We let you go, and Gary, I spoke to you about it. And will you be honest? You know, you keep talking about that incident you had with that guy. That was the last incident. We probably spoke to you 5 or 6 times over the years.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. For 10 years, 10 or 11 years, you had maybe 4 conversations with me. Okay, about cooling it. All right, and not getting into confrontations. But you were laughing about it when you were saying it, like the one with James Gardner and his bodyguard. You were laughing about that one. You were laughing about a bunch of them. Okay, the one Dimitri one was because, well, I don't want to get into that, but there was a reason why you stuck up for Dimitri, Baba Booey. Okay,
you were being overzealous, and it was dangerous. And that guy was just the last guy, not the reason.
You know what? You might, Gary, if you want to be honest about it.
Yeah.
If you really want to be honest about it. And maybe a couple times you did say it in the past, but you guys put me out there. Okay?
No, but we told you.
You gonna hear me or not?
No, he's right. We put him out there.
Right.
Gary, I know exactly what you're saying.
But we gave him parameters.
But we had to put you have to use sort of...
When somebody is attacking you or grabbing you, what are you supposed to do? When somebody's getting in your face, what am I supposed to do? Okay? I'm not a person to walk away from somebody who's going to get in my face or spit on me, dude. Okay? You guys put me out there. You guys put me out there to be attacked by people, by the human race, by the paparazzi, by public relations people, by security guards, by celebrities. You put me out there, okay? And how many times did I go out there? 4 or 5 times I got into some bad run-ins? Really? That's a pretty good track record. I'd say that's like maybe, 2% out of 100% that I had a problem with people. Okay, so 97, 98% of the time, everything was cool. But you guys put me out there and, take those 3 or 4 times, all right? Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm incensed.
It's weird. Have you ever found anybody to replace me? Has the Howard Stern Show found anybody to replace me or John? No.
And I didn't think common sense was being used.
Let me say something. Can I just say one thing, man? With you guys not interrupting me, I went to maybe over 300 or 400 events over the years, at least. Okay? So there was a handful of times that got out of control. But guess what? I went out there. I had to use a fake name. I had to misrepresent myself, who I was with.
But Gary, one has nothing to do with the other. We told you. Like,
yes, it
I'll tell you. Here's an incident. Here's an incident I remember, and I remember it very vividly. You went to an event, and they asked you to leave, and you got into this horrific fight with the security guard. And I remember having a conversation. Hold on, it was one of those autograph sites, and I remember Howard and I discussed it, and I said, "Listen, Gary, we love that you go out there. We love that you're the guy that's..."
I never got into a horrific fight with any security guard out there at an autograph show. I mean, in fact, I played that Lorenzo Lamas interview, and I'll play it tomorrow, where the security guard was fine with it. It was the LA County Sheriff. So, I mean, Baba Booey, shut up. You're a douche, too. You've lived off of Howard Stern's coattails for many, many years. For your whole career, you lived off of Howard Stern's coattails, Gary Baba Booey Delabate. If you think he could do a radio show, hey, this is Baba Booey. How are you? This is Controlled Chaos on TNT. He couldn't even speak. Okay, so kiss my ass. All right. Anyways, we'll play part 2 on tomorrow's show. Fascinating. I love it. All right, I'm out of here, man. March Madness. I'm ready to go gamble, make some bets, and have some fun. All right, you guys have a great day. Stay cool out there. I know I'm cool. I'm fine, man. I'm all good. All right, are we going to play this or not? Thank you. It's so cumbersome in here. All right, it is Control Chaos. You guys have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow with part 2. Stern versus Garver. Thanks for watching on Facebook, too. Appreciate it.